Oops, pardon the interruption. I forgot to tell you about my temperature blanket. Now, those of you who have been following for a while already know that I'm doing a historical temperature blanket for 1965, which is my birth year. And as it is my 60th birthday this year, I thought it would be a fun way to commemorate that year. So I have been following this chart of colors here. Each color represents a different temperature in Celsius, because that's what we use here in Australia. And I had to complete the month of May. Now, there were 4 weeks in the month of May in 1965, and the temperatures were 25, 24, 23, and 22, because I take the average temperature for each week on a Thursday, because that was the day that I was born, and then I put it together into a blanket. And I absolutely love making the sunburst granny stitch and square, I should say, and that's what I have been using for my granny squares here. My squares. So there they are there. Oh, it's just falling apart, guys. Let me just open it up for you. It's just a tricky one to hold at the moment. So these are the 4 squares that I added, the last 4 that you can see here. So 25, 24, 23, and 22. And I think it's coming along very, very beautifully. All the colors just work very, very well together. So thank you. I just thought I better add that in because I made sure that I had it done for May. It's all been ticked off. Now I've got to get on to June. So now let's get back to our video, our journal of what I made in May. Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa, and today I'm going to share with you everything I crocheted in May for 2025. Now, as always, I've used my diary to write in all of my makes as I make them, because I like to keep track, and this has been a very useful tool for me this year. Simple and sweet. All I need to do is use a pen and write down in the pages that I've allocated for my makes in the order that I make them, but the way I'll present them to you today will just be randomly how I pick them up. Now, a lot of you may have already seen these in our podcasts weekly, but today I won't be giving you all the information that I usually give you, like, you know, hook sizes, patterns, yarns, and things like that. It's just a little video journal for myself that I like to share with you so I can keep track of what I've made for the whole year. It's actually been a lot of fun. So thank you in indulging me once again and coming along to see it all together. It actually has been a fun month because I've made or crocheted quite a few little pieces and bigger pieces that weren't just planned, but they just happened. And sometimes it's so nice to have a month where you can actually have the luxury of doing that. Of course, there are a few cows that I'm participating in, including ours here at Coco's Crochet, and I have finished them in time because today is Saturday, the 31st of May, 2025. So I thought I'd best get this out to you now because in the next couple of days, we have some very important videos to share as well with everybody's makes for all of those cows. So as always, I'm going to start off with my best friend and my doll, Dana. And for our hashtag best dressed 18-inch doll cow 2025, that is always such a mouthful, we had to make an overall dress this month. And I have made her dress here. We'll talk about it more in that showcase and reveal video. And I managed to make her a bandana. This is the first time, I think, all year that I managed to make an accessory for her. So that was a very important make and a fun make. So I'll pop her over there where she's nice and safe. Now, our hashtag Birthstones Cow 2025 for May, the birthstone was Emerald, which is a green, and here is my square. I have folded it up very nicely. You probably can't really tell, but it is a sunburst granny square, the pattern. And that is now ticked. I've just got to sew in one end. So I'm going to pop that over there as well out of the way. Now, I'm going to get started with this end here so then I can start piling things on top because there are some chunky things to share with you. So April, I completed a corner-to-corner blanket in this beautiful color here. And for May, I made 2 cushion covers. And here they are here, guys. I absolutely love these. They turned out beautifully. And they're just simply a long rectangle, which I sewed in the ends. And then I put a couple of little ties on them. So that's 2 cushion covers to match the blanket that I completed last week in one of my favorite stitches, the C to C or corner to corner. And being blanket yarn, it really did grow very, very quickly. Now another blanket that I started, which is a C to C, but it's the open block stitch one, I have not completed yet, so you'll probably see that in June. Hopefully I will have it finished, but let me show you the progress on it now. I have actually started on the return. So this is the width of the blanket here. It is quite wide. You can see here where I've started to return, but I am going to grow it a little bit more for the length of it. That's pretty wide there, pretty long, but I do want to continue a bit longer. So this is a beautiful blanket. I think it's turning out really, really nice. And I'm just using some of my Ogos that I've rediscovered recently. So I'm so excited that I'm putting them to good use. So I think, like I said, I should finish this by our June video. But for now, that's where we're up to with that one. And now let's just continue with the blankets, because it was a bit of a blanket fest. Now this is one that I'm very excited about. The poppet blanket here, the poppet yarn blanket, and it is a beautiful size. Look at this one, guys. Now this was a carry-on whip from 2024, and I'm so happy that I've decided since the end of last month that I'm going to be focusing on one whip that I carried over from 2024 until I complete it. So now I have the fun pleasure of going into my bags that are just sitting there behind you, so I can choose the next whip bag that I'm going to concentrate on for June. But this one is done now, and it's so pretty and so soft, guys. I absolutely love this one. So let's add that to our stack. Let's hope it doesn't topple over. Now I also have made 2 blankets using the Aldi baby yarn, which is like a plush yarn or a blanket yarn. Now this one here is absolutely gorgeous, and it's a star blanket. There it is there. Every time I show it, I can't really open it to show you how big it is. I'm still here, but look how beautiful it turned out. I really love these colors, and some little lucky person will get to play with that, because I was thinking that one would be a good one for like tummy time on the floor and play time on the floor, because it is a nice thick one. So that's that one. Now using the same yarn, I also made a chevron blanket. So let me grab this one here. I still have, I think, one end to sew in. Typical, right? So here it is here. Let me show it to you this way. So the colors that I use actually really do look like a beach, I feel. So it was just the blue and the mint and the one that's got all the colors in it there and some white. So this one is another nice baby blanket. This one is actually not as dense as the star one, I feel. So you could probably pop this on a cot maybe, or once again, even on for floor play if you wish to. So that's another blanket there. And there's one more blanket. Now this one is not as heavy because it's just made out of 8-ply or DK weight acrylic, and it's my granny square one. So I made one big granny square, 4 medium-sized granny squares on one end, and 8 little granny squares on the other end. So this is what it looks like up close. That's one end with the little ones, and then this is the other one with the bigger ones. And I love this colorway here, and this actually is such a beautiful blanket, and it hasn't even been washed yet, and it is very soft. So there's the stack of blankets there, which I'm very, very proud of for this month. And to go with all those little blankets, I wanted to make some plushies. So with the little poppet yarn blanket, the one that was the carryover whip from last year, I made this little sleeping teddy. I think it turned out very, very sweet. I was a little bit concerned about his face, but I think he turned out okay. And then I made 2 donuts to go with the star blanket, and they are strawberry and blueberry flavour. There they are there. And I also made a cupcake. I think it turned out very cute, and I just decided that I was going to put the same icing on all of them, because that's what we do, right guys? When we make a batch of like biscuits or cakes or, you know, donuts, we use the same icing, right? Well, I generally do. Now to go with the chevron blanket or ripple blanket. I think it was called chevron, the pattern that I used. I made some little sea themed animals, and I made this little seahorse here. Isn't he adorable? I absolutely love him. I was thinking of putting some glue on the eyes to maybe make them a bit more secure, because I'm worried that those knots will pull out. I hope not. And then I also made a little octopus, again with the eyes. I'm thinking maybe I should put some glue in them. So he's tiny, tiny. These were made using the Aldi yarn as well, which complements the yarn in the blankets. And I also made this stingray. He's got a big smile underneath. Again, the same yarn, and I'm just popping them in their little bag here, their little beach bag, I'm calling it. And then I made, to complement this blanket here, because I'm trying to make little ensembles. So I made a little granny stitch hexicardie for a little baby. I do have the yarn still connected because I just want to sew in all the ends, and I'm not sure if I'll do one more round of the ribbing. What do you guys think? But look at the little sleeve on it as well. And here's the back. How gorgeous is this tiny little thing? So that's the little hexicardie for a little baby. And then I wanted, in the theme of the granny stitch, I made a little, well, I actually made two little baby beanies, but this is the one that's the right size. Again, it has a little end to sew in. But how cute did that turn out? This yarn is absolutely gorgeous. And then I made two smaller ones, so a little granny stitch and of course the divine hat as well. How cute are these? Yes, I do need to sew in the ends. And then of course we had our beanie of the week, and in total I made 8 beanies. Now this one here is Crochet with Julie, I'm pretty sure, and it was just called Easy Beanie. So I made one of those. And then the granny stitch by the Crochet Crowd, I made one of those. And then we had the one that was like, what was it called? I've got it in my diary. You know, the one, it was like the Jacob's Ladder one by Hay Carey, I'm pretty sure. And then here at Coco's Crochet, we've got the Sticks and Stones beanie. I know I ended up making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in all these great neutral colors. So I'll be able to wear the black one definitely, and this one here, the chunkier one. I absolutely love them. And then I made the wheat stitch beanie. There it is there. So one of those. Looks giant compared to the others because I made it a little bit long, but that's okay. So we ended up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beanies as well this month. So in total, I think that's it. I think that it was a very productive month, especially in the blanket department, right guys? And I do like that, I think that the little plushies that I made really do complement all of the blankets nicely. So now I'm a little bit addicted. I can't just make a blanket anymore, especially if it's for babies or little children. I feel that I need to add, you know, something special to go with them, whether it be, you know, a big plushie or a small one or a little wearable. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm ready now for June. And I'm so excited to see what I can, you know, crochet. I really don't have any plans other than, you know, the cows that we're involved in. And speaking of cows, how could I forget? Our friend Rose at Rose Likes Crochet, she has her Random Acts of Crochet Kindness cow. And this month we had to make hearts. And I ended up making 7 hearts. They're slippery because they're in the packets. So I made 3 blue, and so there's the pink. And there's the blue. I made 3 of these and 4 of these. So I've got them in a big bag, which I'm collecting for the end of the year for RUOK Day here in Sydney, Australia. I nearly forgot those. Oh dear. They are actually one of the best makes for the month. So that's it, guys. As far as I can tell, I don't have anything else to show you. And the only other thing that I made that I don't have here is my friend John. I finished his scarf using the Sticks and Stones stitch, and he absolutely loves it, and he wears it all the time at work, which is wonderful. So that's it. I think, like I said, it was a fun month. Not sure what we're going to be crocheting either together for next month or, you know, individually. I always get inspired by your makes, so I'm looking forward to seeing them as well. Of course, we'll be carrying on with Random Acts of Crochet Kindness, our Best Dressed 18-inch doll cowl, and our hashtag birthstones cowl. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for, coming in once again and hanging out with me. I always love sharing what I've made with you, because even though, I show you each week in the podcast, sometimes I don't show you the finished item, so I thought this was a great opportunity to do that as well. So that's it for now. I hope you're all keeping well. As it is Saturday here, we're halfway through the weekend. I hope you're all doing something fun. I had a nice day out today with some friends, but we'll talk about that in our Thursday's podcast when it comes to a live share. So for now, I'm going to say take care and see you all very, very soon. Bye bye for now.